Welcome to the channel, everybody. You've seen the title of what this video is today. Sorry about the echo because we're in a bathroom ensuite. Major problems in this bathroom ensuite, major problems. Well, nothing I can't sort out. But I won't be sorting it out with what the thumbnail is. That is a big no-no. I'm going to say, was that clickbait to you? Was that clickbait? It's not quite a scantily clad young lady in a bikini in the shower for me. I tell you what, this is more clickbait than somebody in that shower having a shower for this video. Enough said. Yeah, we've had the bit of a laugh, haven't we? We're talking serious now. We've got flaky paint in the bathroom ensuite. Flaky paint's on the ceiling. We've obviously and clearly got an issue with, you can't just see it off here, off camera. We've clearly got an issue over there and just over there, and we've got peeling paint. We've also got an issue, if I can spin you up there, I don't know whether you'll see it. We have an issue just there as well. Now, what are we going to do to rectify this? And I can do this as a short video. I don't have to be 25 minutes on this one. I surely don't need to be 25 minutes. What we're going to do, I'm going to show you the tools I've got. I've got some scrapers. I've got some flexi filling knife scrapers, and I've also got my wallpaper scraper. This is quite a simple fix. You don't need to overcomplicate this, but you do need to complicate. Please don't be using this, thin down or not. All it's good for is on the desk at school for kids making pasta shaped pictures that they bring home with them and they stick it on the fridge. That's all that PVA glue is used for. And builders and plasterers, definitely not a decorator. Let it be said. And you're asking me why, I'm going to tell you, bare plaster surfaces, painted surfaces that we're going to be painting over. PVA is not alkali resisting. That's all I need to say about it. It's not alkali resisting. It reacts with the alkali surface, which is plaster. And when you come to paint it, that's when the problems start. And I know people are going to go, oh, Phil, I mix it 50% and it's like water. You're getting away with it until something happens. You don't need to be using this. You shouldn't be using this. Leave it to the plasterers, leave it to the builders that use this mix prior to plastering or doing cement renders. That's all I need to say to you. This is not a decorating product. Whether it be a kiddie's PVA glue tub like this from, I'm not going to say where it was from, but you can probably tell by the label. Or whether it says a major brand for building products on it. PVA is PVA, it's a glue, and it's not for a decorator. Right, that said, what I'm going to be doing, where we've got the flaky paint up there, you can just probably see it. I hope you can, you might do. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be scraping that off, get it to a tight edge, and I mean a tight edge where you can't force, you don't want to be forcing it. I'm going to get it to a tight edge where I can actually get the flake off, leave me the bare plaster, and there's a bit of a, I'll say a painted edge that you can't scrape off anymore. I don't want to be stripping this ceiling, and all being well, I shouldn't need to strip this ceiling. It's just a case of scraping the loose off, and then what do we do with the loose? Put a duster brush over it. You know what a duster brush is, just to get any loose powder that might be there. Not that that matters too much. And then I'm going to get you, it's on the floor, let me get it, don't rush me. This is the bad boy you want, PeelStop. This is alkali resisting. This you can use inside and out. This will go over bare plaster. It's a sealer. You know what it does. Seals cracking and glues down old paint edges, binds chalky surfaces, substrates, same thing. Clear binding primer. Right, PeelStop is what you want. And all I will be doing is brushing PeelStop over where I've scraped it off. Get enough PeelStop around the edges where that matte, call it a matte edge, you know, where you get a shape of where the paint is and it's stripped off. You call it a matte edge. It's called mapping. I'm going to be using that with, and I've got a nice, it's 2.5 inch, it's not 2 inch, sorry. What's half inch between friends? I've got a 2 inch brush that is Two Fussy Blokes. It's nice and soft. Don't care for it for painting so much, but I do like it for the odd job where I need it. I'm just going to be brushing PeelStop over those mapped edges When that's dry, give it half an hour to an hour, depends on what job you've got elsewhere, and I've got other jobs to do. Then I'm going to be getting some of this stuff. That was a good blend. I've got the Toupret, how do you pronounce that? Toupret, doesn't matter. But this, always read the boxes because I'm struggling with fillers at the moment because of the drying times. This is the Quick Dry Filler, and this, mix it up, it's powder form, mix it up to a nice consistency, nothing too thick, nothing too thin. This is dry in 3 hours. That's not going to be an issue to me because what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be filling this up when that PeelStop's been dry. I'm going to be filling this up and coming back to it tomorrow to do this bit of a sanding and painting. And before you say, I'm not going to be showing you how to do painting because you've seen that. Yes, I know you have, and I'm going to show you what paint I'm going to use. But this is the Quick Dry Toupret Filler. You can use other things. You can use the Presto F that I've used previously, which is a tub filler. That's a nice filler to use as well. But I'm going to be using this Quick Dry Filler, 3 hours, and it's gone off. But as I say, doesn't matter because I'll be coming back tomorrow to paint it. And you're going to say, Phil, what paint are you using on this bathroom ensuite ceiling that we're not going to have problems in the future? And I'm going to blend out now to come back in with another paint. Blended out nicely, blended back in. I'm using the Glixtone Fungi Shield paint, and this is your paint that's recommended by the National Landlord Association, that is now called the National Residential Landlord Association. And if you see my playlist there, where I've been renovating my personal flat, which is a rental property, I use this in the bathroom. And I'm going to say to you, if you want to learn a bit more about this paint, please watch that video there. I'm not going to show you applying paint on a ceiling. That video there will be showing you paint for applying on a ceiling. But this is the Fungi Shield. This will stop your mould. It's anti-mould paint and black spot. Now, if you want to know a bit more about it, it's in that video, because if you've got mould and black spot, you need to be washing it down with the Fungi Shield solution, which kills any spores. And then when that's all dry and you've dried it up, watch that video, you paint it with this. We've got no mould spores in here. We've just got flaky paint. But to make sure that we haven't got something in the future that could rear its ugly head, we are going to be using the Fungi Shield on this ceiling. It's over a shower. This can be used anywhere in your house. Don't just think it's for bathrooms and kitchens and places of areas of high humidity or anything. It's not. It can be used anywhere. Multiple different colours you can get this mixed up in. I think it's about 150. So this is Glixstone's and it's Fungi Shield. And do a bit of a Google search on that. I'll probably do a link below in the bio in my description to get this paint. There might be somewhere that I can link to you for it. But while I've got you on about linking, you've seen the paper motion in the corner. Nobody's sponsoring me on this video. Nobody's paying me for anything. The paper motion in the corner is mainly because I've got the Associates affiliate now. So there is a bit of a storefront that I have products that if you want to purchase, you can do, and I get a small commission if you buy. Brilliant. Thank you very much. So without further ado, you don't need to watch about this. I'm going to get some scraping done. I've got my scrapers. Let me just show you. Got my scrapers and I'm going to attack it. Not too bad, but I'm going to have a go at it. I've also got my wallpaper scraper if that's a bit better, but we will see. So let me move the camera around and I'll get scraping, then you can see what it's like. Just starting with this little bit here above the sink. It's not actually too bad. I think what's happened before, there might have been a bit of a water leak and you've got a slight powdery surface. Not so much efflorescence, but it's just flaked away when it's been painted over. So that's not too bad, that's good. Now you can see that, can you see it? Quite a bit more there. That's good there. We'll leave that. Now I'm going to go over there and I'm just going to scrape this lot off. Oh, that's brilliant. It's actually not very big. Got a bit of a nail head that's popped, so I'll just scrape that off. You can see that over there. You can, it's gone dark. It's just that little nail head gone there. Bit of flake in there. I think that might be another nail head. So if you've got nail heads and they're a screw, just screw it up with a Phillips screwdriver like these. Just half a turn, that's all it needed. That's there now. Bottom up here, just scrape that bit of an edge. That can be filled later. Yeah, we've got a bit of back filler on there. That's good. Happy with that. I'll show you what I've done. This isn't actually as bad as I thought it was. Sorry. A quick gander at that. Can you see? That's what we're up against. Bit there, and you can see there we've got a bit of flaking paint. There's the screw head that I've screwed back, and that's all we've got. Let me just show you the scraper again. Scrape over it, try and get any edges, look. Don't go mad, because you don't want to be. You don't want to make a bigger job of it. Let's go in a tight edge. Let's leave it at that. Have it there. It's one of them things, if you keep going at it, you would strip the ceiling, but we don't need to do that. We don't need to strip the ceiling. We just want to get to a decent tight edge, and then the PeelStop will do its thing. Right, it's the same with that screw head there. Just put a bit of PeelStop over it, and when we come to fill it, it will hold it all together. So that's that. Right, let's get some PeelStop out. I'm actually back at it. I've just put a bit of the PeelStop on the paint tin lid because I can't hold a tin at the same time. So where I've got it there, I'm just brushing it across it, dead easy. This is the Two Fussy Blokes brush. It's very nice. Let's get a bit more on my brush. Doesn't need a lot. Let's just get those. That screw head is a bit there. I'm just going to put a bit across there just before I rake that out properly and put some filler across it. There's a little bit there, not flaking. Let's try and get my scraper on down. Yeah, got it. Very difficult one-handed. There's not much things you can do one-handed. Scrub that across. That'll just tighten and bind that area where the mapping is. I'm quite happy with that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let that dry, be about an hour, might be a bit sooner than that, then I'll get some filler out. Hello, I'm back. I've just mixed up some of that Toupret filler. Well, I'll say 3 hours. That's what its drying time is. So all I'm going to do is skim out any of these matte edges which I've previously, which is a good couple of hours ago now, put some of the Zinsser PeelStop on. Now, when you're doing your filling, keep your edge of your filling knife clean. I'll clean those bits up later, just soak it in hot water. But so long as your actual edge is nice and clean, you'll skim out beautifully, you know, beautifully. There's certain areas that I went round after I saw you on camera, scraped off because they're a little bit loose, and again, put a little bit of PeelStop on. That little corner there, you can't see it now, but I've raked that out, put some PeelStop on that. I'm just going to fill that while I'm going around as well. And I've not made up, you see, I've not made up a lot of filler. I don't need too much. Now, what I'm doing is filling it quite neatly. There'll just be enough on it that when I come back tomorrow, I can rub down and I don't need to second fill. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not over filling anything. I'm just putting enough on that will nicely set up and rub down tomorrow. That's done above my head there. I'm just going to reach over to these little spots here that you saw earlier, and also I'll fill that nail head up. Now when you skim it, try and skim it and fill it in one. If I feel I need a bit wider blade, I can use that, but this one, what's that, a 1, 2, 3, is that about a 3-inch, 3.5 inch blade? Flexi. Flexi filling knives. I'll put a link at the description if you want to purchase anything like that from Amazon. So there we have it, we'll wind up at that. I've just used a bit more of that filler up on some of the cracks behind me, behind the camera over there that just wanted to fill in. Raked them out, just filled them in nicely. But you can probably see what I've done on these areas there. Skimmed them up nicely. There's just enough on, camera lens flare. Come on. There we go. We've got some skimming up there, just enough skim filler on it just to rub down tomorrow. And you're going to say to me, Phil, what do I use to rub down? And I'm going to say to you, if you get yourself some worn 120 sandpaper, or even, you see, Goldflex, Merkur, Goldflex pads, that's probably a used 150. That will just be enough to nib any highlights off of the filler. And then what you can do, if you want to, the filler is one of those fillers that you don't need to spot prime, but it might be worth just touching over with a little bit of the Glixtone paint, which I'll do tomorrow, and then paint the ceiling 2 coats. I'm not subjecting you to that because you can watch that video for watching how to paint a bathroom ceiling. But for now, there'll be videos coming up at the side. I'll say thank you very much for listening to me on that. Dead simple on this. We've kept it under 20 minutes. All we've done, we've scraped off the flaky bits. We haven't used PVA. We've used Zinsser PeelStop. We've let that dry, and then we've just skimmed them out with some powder packet filler. If you wanted to use one of the other ready-made fillers, you could do. I'm not doing any more on this today. I'm going to let it dry tomorrow, and then jobs are good and we can get it painted. So watch those videos. Thanks very much for listening to me. I'll see you on the next one.